What's the most devious thing you did as a kid? When I was in 6th grade, I hated my neighbor Mr. Petrovsky more than anyone on the planet. This dude was pure evil. If your basketball bounced onto his lawn, he'd call the cops. He screamed at kids for riding bikes past his house. One time he threw a water balloon at this girl just for walking her dog too close to his driveway. But here's the thing, nobody ever had proof. He was sneaky about it. Always did his worst stuff when parents weren't around. The adults thought he was just some grumpy old guy, but us kids knew better. We knew he was a monster. I decided I wasn't gonna wait around for proof anymore. I was gonna trap him. So I built this fake donation box. Took an old shoebox from my mom's closet, cut a little slot in the top, and made it look official. I printed out this flyer with cute little raccoons and squirrels on it that said Local Wildlife Rescue Fund in big letters. Glued it to the front and everything. The whole thing looked legit enough to fool anyone who wasn't paying close attention. But here's where it got genius. I rigged the box with one of those cheap prank buzzers from the dollar store. You know, the kind that gives you a tiny shock when you touch it. Cost me $3 and my entire allowance that week. I placed the box right on the edge of Petrovsky's lawn with a sign that said, "Please give spare change for hurt animals." Then me and my friend Jake hid in the bushes across the street with my dad's old camcorder, waiting. At first, nothing happened. Just normal people walking by, ignoring the box. Then this little girl, maybe 7 years old, came up with a quarter in her hand. She was about to drop it in when Petrovsky came running out of his house like a crazy person, screaming at her to get away from his property. The poor kid ran off crying. That made me even angrier. This wasn't just about pranking him anymore. I wanted to catch him being the jerk everyone knew he was. The next day, I moved the box to the sidewalk, still near his yard, but on public land where he had no right to touch it. Then we waited again. Around 10 in the morning it happened. We got it all on camera. Petrovsky stormed out with a hammer, yelling about how nobody was gonna put junk near his property. He smashed the box to pieces while screaming like a maniac. But here's what he didn't know. I'd stuffed the box with fake Monopoly money and one real $20 bill to make it look full of donations. After destroying it, he picked through the mess, found the 20, and stuffed it straight into his pocket. We got the whole thing on tape. The stealing part wasn't even planned. That was just pure bonus evil from him. I took the footage to my older cousin Danny, who was in high school and knew how to edit videos. We cut it down to show the best parts. Him destroying the donation box, screaming at people, and taking the money. Then I did something no kid today would ever think of. I mailed it, like with stamps and everything. I sent it anonymously to the HOA board with a note that said, "Thought you should see what kind of person lives in our neighborhood." Didn't sign it or anything. A week later, Petrovsky got fined by the HOA for aggressive behavior toward community members and destruction of property. He also got put on some kind of community conduct review list, which meant if anyone else complained about him, he'd face serious consequences. Suddenly, all the neighbors who'd been too scared to say anything before started filing official complaints. The water balloon incident, the screaming, calling cops on kids for no reason, everything came pouring out. Within a month, Petrovsky was the most hated guy in the neighborhood, and everyone had legal backup to prove it. The HOA made him take anger management classes and pay fines. His own family was embarrassed by the video. Nobody ever figured out it was me. People assumed some adult had set him up, maybe someone with a security camera who'd been watching him for months.